I don't know what you're talking about, but
There we go.
okay. Welcome to the third episode of the Transcend Yourself podcast. Let's make this a short but good one. We don't have a lot of time, so
Yeah, unfortunately. You have load shedding.
let's go straight into the convo. So last time we touched on the Kalam cosmological argument.
Yeah, I think we mentioned it, but we didn't
Yeah, I
touch on
think
it.
we just mentioned it. You wanna explain it again?
Sure. So before I actually start, right,
Yeah.
I must make a disclaimer that many of our viewers may disagree with what we're saying today. Let's just make this conversation one that is that may be of disagreement between our
Yeah.
audience and ourselves, but one that is honorable, that is honest and open.
Always.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just try to openly consider what we're discussing, and don't hold any resentment or bitterness towards us.
And
Because
you're
this
welcome
argument
to share your opinion as well.
Yes, exactly. No, precisely. And we'll argue. And we'll, yeah. But anyway, okay, so let's get into this. So there are various philosophical reason-based arguments that are made as an attempt to prove the existence of God. I can just name a few. For example, you have the moral argument, you have the ontological argument, you have the teleological argument, which is essentially the argument from design, right? And there are various examples of this. If I remember correctly, you have the cosmological argument. I think your screen's frozen, but I'll just continue talking for the moment. It seems like we're still live. Yeah, so we have these various philosophical reason-based arguments. There's in excess of 150 of them that have been made by various philosophers over the centuries. And the Kalam cosmological argument is one such argument. It's a variation on the cosmological argument that was first introduced by, I believe it was Aristotle. It was then later on developed by, and I'm going to butcher his name, but Al-Ghazali. And recently repopularized by Dr. William Lane Craig. Oh, there we go, you're back.
Were you talking? I hope you were.
Yeah, I was talking the whole time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. But I didn't hear it. But you were saying all the different arguments for God, yeah?
Yes. I was just describing the various philosophical reason-based arguments that have been made over the centuries by various philosophers, and how the Kalam cosmological argument came about. How it was first introduced, developed, and now also repopularized by William Lane Craig. Your screen froze again, but I'll just continue talking. So yes, I believe the word Kalam is Arabic for, is it word or like speech or something along those lines? I think it was Dr. William Lane Craig, who, by the way, has 2 PhDs in philosophy and is a Christian. He's a Christian theologian, philosopher, and Christian apologist. And I think he gave tribute to the argument by naming it the Kalam cosmological argument because of its history in its Muslim and Arabic influence, let's say. So yes, there are various variations on the Kalam cosmological argument itself, but the most common standardized version is one that starts off with, so it's in a syllogistic form, right? In a syllogism, meaning that there are 2 premises followed by a conclusion. The first premise is the major premise, which is generally some general statement that is made. The second premise is a minor premise, which is a specific case of the general premise, which is the first one.
This is called a syllabus when it's structured in this way.
Syllogism.
Syllogism, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm asking. Sorry, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's called a syllogism. And then following these 2 premises, there's a conclusion. Now, the Kalam cosmological argument goes something like this. Premise 1, everything that begins to exist has a cause. Premise 2, the universe began to exist, and the conclusion is the universe had a cause. Now, yes, these types of arguments are supposed to be arguments in favor of the existence of God, but clearly, when you just look at this at face value, the conclusion.
It's interesting that we literally did that in like our 3rd week in philosophy.
Yeah.
Because we were looking at logical fallacies
nice.
and circular reasoning, and basically to sum it up, he in his premise he uses cause in a certain. He uses a certain concept of cause,
Yeah, you were telling me about this.
and then in the conclusion, or the way he ends his argument, is with a completely different meaning of the word cause. So he's actually using two different concepts,
Interesting.
and and then trying to. So you can't change. If you say cause, it must mean the same concept throughout your argument. You can't now change what you mean by
Right.
cause. Because
Yeah.
first he's saying cause exists within the world, and then all of a sudden God must be caused as well. There's just
Yeah.
it's logical, illogical reasoning.
Yes, no, that would be a logical fallacy called the equivocation fallacy,
Yeah.
where you have a specific term that can take on various distinct meanings in different contexts, and you're conflating the two. So, for example,
Yes.
the word law has a specific meaning in a legal context and a specific meaning in, say, scientific context.
So he's using different concepts, but with the same
Yeah.
word.
Yeah.
It's a clever
Exactly.
way to trick in some
Yeah,
way.
identifying logical fallacies is quite an important skill, and it extends beyond simply being aware of certain logical fallacies. Like you actually have to train yourself in identifying them. But that's interesting. I didn't know there was actually an equivocation fallacy of the term cause in the argument.
So what made you want to talk about the kalam?
Well, I don't know. I just it's nothing to do with the kalam specifically. I suppose somewhat recently, over the past, say, 3 weeks, I delved a little bit deeper into it, and I heard firsthand of William Craig talking about it. So it wasn't someone talking about the Kalam cosmological argument, but it was William Lane Craig himself. And I thought that it was, hearing it from the man himself who repopularized it and wrote a book on it. I think even based one of his theses on it as well. I thought, it will be greatly beneficial for me to listen to this. The screen froze up again, but let me continue speaking. So yeah, one of the first issues with the Kalam cosmological argument, unfortunately, is that the conclusion is therefore the universe has a cause, but it doesn't necessarily state that this cause is God. It could be something else. It could be God, it could be something else. And so Dr. William Lane Craig identified this, and I believe he added his own premises and conclusion to the standardized version of the Kalam cosmological argument, so that it does necessarily lead to God. But even in that case, again, unfortunately, there are still issues with the standardized version of the argument itself. So as you've mentioned, there's the equivocation fallacy that's used of the word cause that I was completely unaware of beforehand. But the argument isn't sound, meaning that the premises aren't true. So yes, the argument is valid, which essentially means that the conclusion does logically follow from. I think he's left. Maybe he's trying to rejoin. But for the sake of our viewers, let me continue discussing. So what it means for an argument to be valid is that the conclusion logically follows from the premises. Right? So in this case, yes, if we accept premise 1, that everything that began to exist has a cause, and premise 2, that the universe began to exist, then it would logically follow that the universe had a cause. So the argument is logically valid, but unfortunately it isn't sound. Oh wait, he's joining us again? 9 minutes in. Maybe we need to do something.
Okay, I hope you just carry on without me if I cut out. But my
Okay,
Wi-Fi is
cool.
like turning off and then working, and then it's like on and off. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, I hope you resolve that. But all I was doing is essentially explaining how the standardized version of the Kalam cosmological argument is logically valid, meaning that the conclusion logically follows from the premises, but it isn't sound, meaning that the premises aren't true.
Explain that.
Okay,
It's
I'll get back
logically
to that.
sound.
Yes.
You said
No,
it's
it's not.
logically sound.
No, it's not logically sound.
It's not logically sound.
Yeah. So for viewers who aren't familiar with logic, which is presented in the fields of mathematics and philosophy, the term valid, when referencing an argument, means that the conclusion logically follows from the premises. So there's no gap or discontinuity in your argumentation. That's what it means for an argument to be valid.
Okay.
And what it means for an argument to be sound is that it's valid in addition to the premises being true.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So an argument can still be valid with false premises. It just wouldn't be sound in that case. It's frozen up again. We may need to... Should I wait for him? Not the greatest of starts. Oh wait, there might be some movement. Let me see. No, okay, I think he understands the difference between an argument being sound and valid. Wait. I think I saw something again, yeah. I think you might leave. What's happening, Jansen? Oh, there we go. You're back.
This Wi-Fi is...
Do you want to reschedule the...
We could, yeah, because this is gonna keep happening, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
We can keep this live stream. I don't know.
And you can just edit it in. What's the other one? Maybe, perhaps.
That'll be a struggle. Unless I can pause this somehow.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think I can. Okay, but we're working now.
Okay. So should I? Oh, you froze again. I need to eat some food for lunch. I wonder if I'll continue. You know what? I'll continue speaking until his screen resumes, and then we can decide what we're going to do from then on. So it's going to be a bit weird, but anyway. So just carrying on from where I left off. The Kalam cosmological argument is an argument that is valid, but it isn't logically sound because the premise is untrue. There we go.
Look, I'm using Wi-Fi sharing. My laptop usually has a problem connecting to Wi-Fi connection. So let's see if it works now. Okay. What do you think about the watchmaker argument? The idea that
I think it's a false analogy.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. Let's not talk about that then. The concept of.
We're just gonna abandon the color.
No, we are gonna abandon it. I don't think it's worth addressing.
Okay.
I think it's quite simple, but there is an interesting one where people use DNA as an argument for God. They use the small odds of the Big Bang happening and very precise detailing in the nature of the universe. What do you think about that being an argument for a creator?
Look, I think it's quite a natural response for humans to jump towards. For us to say, well, look at this pristine beauty surrounding us. Take a look at nature and the intricacies of it. And it's
the Bible even says things like that. The Bible says, look, God's proven himself in his creation. You don't need more than that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea behind it.
I don't know how many Christians read the Bible like quite extensively. From personal experience, I mean, I would say it's not much, but obviously it's a small sample size. But anyway, I think it's a natural tendency for us to make arguments, which should often be characterized as like a design argument or a fine-tuning argument, which should all broadly fall under the teleological argument. And a specific feature that may be addressed in these arguments is that of complexity.
Yes.
Right? So we have William Paley's watchmaker argument. I believe William Paley was a British philosopher. But he had this watchmaker argument where, suppose you were walking on a beach and then suddenly you stumble across mechanical watch in the sand, then you would. Oh, he froze up again. But so suppose that you stumble across this mechanical watch and you think to yourself, wow, look at the complexity of this watch. Right? It's quite remarkable. And quite obviously, there was a creator, an intelligent designer behind the creation of this watch. And obviously, that conclusion is reached because the person is familiar with the notion of watchmakers, how watches are made, and the intricate mechanisms that are used to assemble this piece of machinery. Ah, he's left again. I'll wait for him to return. I'll just take a sip of my cold ginger tea. Need to shave. Maybe grow it out. I assume he's going to join us soon, guys, so just hold on, just wait. And guys, those who are viewing, so this episode may feel quite rushed, especially in comparison to our previous episodes. But yeah, that's just because we're trying to fit this whole episode in, all our points of discussion before Joshua Jansen's load shedding, which I believe is at 4 o'clock, which should be somewhat soon. But it seems he's having issues with internet connections, however, so perhaps we'll need to reschedule this some other time. Maybe later on today, maybe sometime. Yeah, we discussed many things, man. We had lots of things planned for today. Fortunately, sometimes things don't go to schedule, so. But I guess that's just life. Yeah. And I guess I'll. Oh, wait, he's back.
Okay,
There we go.
I'm using my phone now.
Okay. Yeah,
This might be better.
Okay.
I just can't edit it so lekker now.
Because you in portrait mode.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Well, it's
Hello?
very
Testing.
soft.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Okay, my live stream's going. Can you talk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, let's go. I think my laptop's mostly the issue.
Okay, yeah, I also have an issue with my laptop and I need to get sorted at some point.
Mm.
But yeah, we were talking about William Paley's watchmaker argument and how, in this analogy, someone may stumble across a mechanical watch, which is quite intricate and complex, and then deduce, by virtue of its complexity, that it was created by an intelligent designer or maker.
I remember reading about this, and
did he freeze? Is he thinking? I think he froze. I think it's the Wi-Fi in his area. I don't think it's mine. Wait, let me try to use my data. Let me see. I don't know how much data I have and how much this live stream uses. Let me just.
Should we reschedule this? I think. Else this is gonna keep happening.
Wait, let me just disable my Wi-Fi quick.
It's almost 100% me.
Back to Wi-Fi. It should be better. There we go.
See, it works, and then I'm like, yeah, let's do it, and then it stops,
And then it stops. Yeah.
Can you do it tomorrow morning?
I don't know if I can. You can't do the afternoon.
No, it's my mom's birthday tomorrow.
Your mom's birthday?
Yeah.
It's not. Oh, it's your mom. Yes. Oh, yes. Is it 20? No, it's not. Okay.
Why were you confused by that?
No, I don't know. I was thinking of your birthday and my mom's birthday. Yes, your mom's birthday is on the 10th and your brother's on the 23rd. Eh?
Yeah. So when we talk about birthdays now, the stream works. Okay.
Yeah. It's a sign
I'm
from the
gonna
universe.
I'm gonna keep the stream up, and it can be a nice short design. Let's finish it up before, and then when my Wi-Fi comes out again, then we can end it. Okay, so uh, the watchmaker is
We
quite
didn't even make
simply.
any points. We didn't
Okay,
make
I know
any
maybe
points.
last video, but I just want to say with the watchmaker, we know that a watch requires a designer.
Yes, because we're
Whereas,
familiar with the concept of
yes, if you walk up to
someone
a
creating
rock,
mechanical.
you don't walk up to a rock and think someone made this.
Yeah.
Um, that's quite simply dismantled.
And
And
also,
and
we
then and what
naturally.
then they came up with someone tried to argue against this, and then they said because the one argument, the ontological argument, I think, where it says God is the greatest conceivable
Yes, yes, yes.
being, something along those lines. And then they said, if you try and think of the greatest possible island, like the perfect island, like I can't remember exactly. It was quite interesting, but there's so many assumptions and flaws in these design arguments, and what's problematic is that they can be dismantled so easily, and I don't know why these arguments still
I don't know why
stand
they still
today.
stand today. Yeah, especially when there are so many refutations on them through various
Quite
books.
easily as well. It's not difficult
Yeah.
to dismantle them with simple logic.
But again, also with reference to the watchmaker argument and more general the teleological argument, for some reason we naturally equate complexity to intelligence or intelligent design. But I heard this little joke which served as a rebuttal to this claim, and it was on some YouTube video, I think, or maybe I stumbled across this comment somehow else. But this person said, as a software engineer and programmer, I think that complexity is actually incredibly stupid, and that it's simple design.
Oh yes, I remember it. That.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't found one good argument for God. Maybe the only one I've seen philosophical arguments, because maybe the ones like the Earth had to be aligned perfectly, perfect distance from the sun,
Yeah, I think that's
all
probably
these
the most
fine
convincing.
margins that life needed,
Yeah.
and we just so happen to be in the perfect condition.
Yeah.
That I find quite interesting.
Yeah.
But we would
But
only be able to see this if we would only be able to be thinking beings if we had these conditions. So
yeah, yeah, exactly. Life only would have arisen from conditions that are
that were
habitable for
perfect for
life.
life. Yeah. Okay, you see
But
what I'm saying. But
yeah, like 99.9, however many nines, but percentage of the universe is inhospitable. So you could also reframe the argument, I think, instead of saying, well, look how beautiful, intricate, complex our world is, that's in this Goldilocks zone where conditions are perfect for life, which is inherently flawed because
it's
life would
quite
have been
remarkable
crushed out of. But
that
but
we
you could
get to
also reframe
experience.
it as, well, look at how inhospitable our universe is.
Yeah, it's a complete wasteland.
Yeah.
But then it just makes the Earth look more complex. I don't know. I don't know. The Christian would say that the heavens were designed to showcase the beauty of God.
Yeah. We are jumping around a lot here as well.
Yeah.
Ideally, we would tackle this, one by one, to the best of our ability in like completion.
Mm.
But obviously, we've had problems with your internet and things.
Yeah, I think we should just end it. My power's gonna go off in 15 minutes as well. Bad timing.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, do you want to reschedule this maybe for tonight? So what time's your load shedding? Is it from 4 to 6?
4 to 6, yeah.
We can go 6 o'clock then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'll probably have to change venues, but yeah, that's fine.
Alright. I'm gonna end it.
Cool. Remember all these points.